Today, we are going to turn this into this. So today's install will be the MP Concepts smoked fender turn signal marker light combination. I gotta tell you now though, before you do anything, go on Amazon and put in Wrangler fender kit, because you're going to destroy half this shit when you're trying to take it apart. You know, nothing agitates me more than when you like watch a YouTube video and they say, I don't know, remove the muffler bearings and then go to the next step. But what they don't tell you is, out of the whole process, taking off the muffler bearings is the hardest thing, and they give you no explanation. So on this job, I've seen a couple videos. You know, the supplier of the MP Concepts, their name rhymes with Lorraine. You watch a video and the young lady shows you how to do it, but she says pull the fender away, and like it's nothing. And I'll tell you right now, it's the hardest part of the whole thing, is to pry that fender away without destroying every damn clip. So that's why the main thing to me is to get this little kit. It comes with the fender clips, which you will destroy unless you're perfect. I kind of suck at it. And then all the little Christmas trees that are pretty much the same fit. And then on my Sahara, you have these half-ass pop rivets. I don't own the gun, but I'll show you a shit way to use them. All right, this is actually pretty intricate. There's a bunch of stuff to take off. This inner fender well has to go, the whole thing. So if you happen to want to be changing your inner fender wells, it's a good time to do it. You know, you've got little baby rivets, you've got bolts, you've got hardware, screws. You know, this is somewhat annoying. So the easiest thing is you have three. 1, 2, 3 10mm bolts to start with. So I'm going to tell you something. You know, you guys all want to use your power tools with your plastic, and you want to ratchet this shit apart and ratchet it back together with power, and it's just a waste. I could tell none of you had a man at home, a father that loved you, to tell you don't be an idiot. You know, use your brain. Plastic, steel, they don't mix when you're torquing the shit out of them. Thing is probably most of you are as fat as I am. Every little bit of exercise helps. And the thing is there's not much to them. It's not like they're Loctited. You just loosen them up, and then you can spin them out. Imagine how fat I would be if I didn't use the damn power tools. I mean, if I did use the power tools. Holy cow. Just be gentle. I mean, it's your personal vehicle. It's not like you're doing this for profit. If you got a shop, then you've probably done it enough that you know when to torque and when not. But you may think you're a superstar at home, but you know, if you were, you'd make a living at it. See? Easy peasy. This part. The other reason why I say to get that kit, that trim kit, is you really can't take these things apart without jacking them up. So just replace them. So one of the easy things with these rivets to know which one to rip and which one to not, when you feel up on the inside, if there's a little Christmas tree, this rivet can stay. Christmas tree there, that rivet can stay. There's a Christmas tree there, that rivet can stay. And we'll find out about that one. All right, so I have a face for radio, so I tend not to show myself too much. You don't want to see me, you want to see what I'm doing. But there's a Christmas tree in there. You get your tool in and you pry it out. Man, that's handy. But if you look, you have moldables all the way across. There's still one there we gotta get. Yeah, we already got those. This is the funnest part, especially when you don't care if they survive or not. So you got these rivets to pop. Your best bet is to go behind. That way you don't destroy your little fascia. Okay. And you start peeling. Did I miss miss something? Or I just need to be more violent. Get everything unhooked. It's not so bad. Not much to it. Just get it out of your way. So here's a little hint when it comes to mechanic-tree. You know, you're doing your work. You got a little pile of hardware right there. And most of y'all got the shortest attention spans. You forget it's there, you come along or you kick it. Or your wife comes along, or a lady comes along, kicks it, or your kids kick it. So take it, pick it up, and throw it. There you go. There's a nice storage container you made for yourself. Set it off the side, forget about it a bit. There's a whole lot of shit going on in here. A lot more than you think to hold a damn light in place. But the first thing you gotta do is get rid of these two bolts right here that hold the fender in place, basically. There's some supporting brackets and some shit like that in place. And I'll show you why you gotta pull away. It's almost like a trapdoor puzzle or Rube Goldberg device with how they put it together, but hey, whatever. Fender's gotta hold up. Hey, watch a video of a fella spinning a ratchet. Exciting. Well, like I said before, most of this stuff you can loosen up and then turn the rest of the way out by hand. This Jeep isn't old, it's got 22,000 miles on it. It was driven by an old lady on Sundays. You know, it's 2019, it's 2023 now. It's only got 22,000 miles on it. So, there's garage kept. So this shit's easy. If your Jeep's a little older, seen a little more weather, this might be a little dirtier and rougher. Look, handy storage container. My absolute favorite is when you watch a YouTube video where they do some kind of modification. The vehicle's basically brand spanking new. Never seen a dirt, mud, nothing. And all comes apart easy, nothing's rusted in place. It's not the real world. Local fire company's having a celebration. So right now your main structural support for your fender is gone. The only thing holding it on is those goofy little clips. And they're hard to see down inside. You know, if you were a genius, you'd put some plastic and start prying. But the easiest thing is to go down below. So that's the bottom side of that clip. And this is where you start prying away. They're everywhere. You can see there's more, and you got to get them unclipped quite a way back. But the first ones are up here in the corner. They're the toughest. Grab hold, give a sharp, quick pull. And you'll see what happens is that clip's broken. That clip's broken. That one's not, but we're going to help it along here in a moment. Our little pry tool. Now that clip's broken. Isn't this fun? So you want to go back until you can get a gap about like that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 clips. That's why I said you're not going to get around not breaking them. So buy the damn kit. All right, so you have one of those little screwdriver plastic half-ass screwdriver. Usually doesn't unthread, but you can try. So these things never come apart. They're such a pain in the butt. We'll put a Christmas tree back in its place. And you flap that little door down, and then that accesses all the little Torx. There's like a pile of them. They're 25s and 30s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then there's even one holding on your little side marker. So there's a subframe that's got to come apart. You've got there, and you got there, and you got some up top that are hard to see in the video. They've got to come out before you can even unbolt the ones that hold the actual light in. I definitely didn't want to go on anywhere. And then you follow the harness back, and you got to unplug it. You got to pull the little red tab, and then squeeze for your dear life and yank. So there's 3 T30 Torx that hold this thing in place. You have to get the fender port away a little, or you can slide this down. The plastic tab, you just need to give it a little pull. to get it back out of the way. See, it doesn't take much. It's of my opinion that nobody pays close enough attention to these goddamn things either. So after you slide the little red tab back, you have to press there in that spot and then pull. What a pain. Always is. But to keep the water out. So after you do that, you have to pull the harness all the way back through the light. It's attached in a few places by some goofy taping mechanism, but you manhandle it enough, it'll come. And it's not like anybody's gonna buy these. Nobody wants them. You know, you can find them on Marketplace for nothing. So there's a little wire tie there. It's gonna make your life a pain in the ass. It's gotta go. Route your wires around. You got one more rivet that has to go. There it is. I think mostly it's to support the whole bracket. So now you just have the lights that, or the Torx that actually hold the fixture in place. There's 5 of them. Where's there 6? I won't tell in a minute. The Torx holding the bracket were T30s, and these Torx are T25s. Do yourself a little favor. Do the bottom ones last. You can loosen them up, go in a pattern, but take them out last because they're the easiest to get to instead of reaching up holding the whole damn thing. There's one T30 right there that you have to get out. That holds a little side marker. All right, now you start shoving and prying. All right, because you don't care about it, give it a little love. Away she goes. Don't worry, they'll go on Marketplace for as slightly used for 10 bucks. So I'm a firm believer of leaving the stupid plastic on as long as you can. But to fit it in, you gotta peel it back a little bit to get clearance. So fold it to here because this part won't even be seen. And you don't want it to be unpeelable once it's installed, but leave as much of it on as you can, okay? That way if you do something stupid, it's not too stupid. Okay. So, keep it even, Steven. It has pins to locate it, so you don't have to, it aligns everything the way you need it aligned. Now I'll get one screw started so it doesn't fall out and break, and then trim away your plastic. Go for a top screw. They're the easiest to get to. Just try and get it started. Make sure you use the right damn screws. All right, and then peel away. So you see what I mean about trying to dig everything out. There's always that stupid little bit left. Not bad. Side marker light has these little clips, but then in turn clip in there. Before you start torquing, let's feed this thing through. Get your harness in first, and then we'll set this jammy up. It's kind of like a two-hand process as you torque and turn, yada yada. Get the attaching screw attached to the little marker. Don't tweak it down though until everything else is done. All right, get all your screws started and then torque them home. Tighten away. Don't go crazy. Remember, plastic. Idiot-free world, please. When I get there, we have one last screw to tighten for the light fixing. That's our little marker. It's still a little wobbly. So when you tighten this, it's going to be a little bit harder than the rest because you're literally cutting new threads into the light fixture. Side marker has an extra plug on the MP Concepts. Just plug them together. They only go one way. Okay, before you do anything else, go any further, route your wiring harness back to the plug. That's the nice thing about the movable fender. Up, over, and back. Get it down underneath. And plug it in. Make sure it's tight. Before you go any further, test it. Make sure it lights up. When I say test it, test all of it. Test the marker, the turn signal, and the daytime running lights. Going to give you a little hint. You may at this point want to place your little clips, but I wouldn't. Put this in first because this has to be tucked up in, because that's where your bolts that hold the fender on to the final attaching point. So if you put these new clips in and just happen to bump it, and then they'll clip, and then you won't be able to unclip them without breaking them. So one thing at a time, slow your roll, easy peasy. Let's put this in next. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but you got to remember to go over the steel tab, over one and on top of the other, and then tuck it in behind here where your rivet. You'll have to wiggle and jiggle. So you are cutting new threads when you crank these bracket pieces in. So don't go crazy. No power tools. All right. No power tools. Tuck this up. Remember, it goes underneath that. All right, so when you install these clips, start at the very back. You may have to do some from above, some from below. Spin them. It's the easiest way to get them out. All right, so you reach up from underneath. You go straight in, up, and as you're pushing up, turn, and it latches into place. All right, all the new clips are in, but before you shove it home, go underneath. Make sure your little trap door is closed, and then go up. And clip, clip, clip. And even though the bolts aren't torqued up yet, which really does the final alignment, those clips hold it tight. They definitely do. All right, children, we're on the home stretch. Shove a Christmas tree in there, and then install these two bolts. They're actually what gives the strengthening of the fender. All right, before you put your inner fender well back in, go figure out which one of these you disconnected, and then cut them from the back and pull them through. That way you don't jack up your pretty fascia. Get your dikes back there, get a good cut, and then your little pry tool. So those three go, those three stay, that one goes. Shove your fender in the way it came out, and then you're done. Look, you saw how it came apart. You'll see, you know how it goes back together. I'll show you the rivets when we get to that. But cram it all in there, shove away all your Christmas trees, and then we'll rivet. So for aesthetics, do your inner Christmas trees first. You know, that go to the outside of the fender. That way, there's alignment issues, you want everything to be pretty, start there, and then do the inside ones in the bolts. Okay, shove your little rivets home. So I don't have a rivet gun for these plastic rivets, but I do have mechanical aptitude and no patience. So we'll adapt and overcome. What you do is you push with your pry tool and then yank on that sumbitch until it's tight. Then you take a razor and trim it. So it definitely looks better, no doubt in my mind. Especially with that color. We're slowly getting it done. As you can see, I've got it indicating that I got lights burn out. That's because this had incandescent bulbs and it's not reading the resistance that it should be, or current draw, whatever, yada yada. There's a very easy way to fix it, and that's with the JL Taser, which we'll show in the next video, the installation and adjustment, things like that. The last thing I want you to remember, children, is the fact that there's no such thing as extra parts after a project. It's just streamlining.